Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Happy Friday and welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Over the next 30 minutes, we're talking Browns, Cavs, Guardians. I'm Jay Crawford. One topic on the agenda, FanDuel has the Browns' chances at winning the Super Bowl as the longest shot in the NFL. We'll talk about whether they got it right or got it wrong. Jason.
I'm Jason Lloyd. We're a month into the baseball season. Who on the Guardians is most likely to hit 20 home runs with a twist? We'll talk about it. G.
I'm G. Bush, and there's some film out there of one Nick Chubb. Yes, the bat signal was out there, but will the Browns answer that and bring him back? We'll talk about it coming up later. Hey, we got my man Earl.
What's happening, man? I'm Earl the Pearl. The Cavs played the Pacers game 1, second round of the playoffs Sunday. I'll tell you what I think the biggest key to victory is for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
All right, very good. We can't wait for that series to get started. Starts on Sunday. Cavs, of course, have home court all the way through the Eastern Conference Finals, so we'll get into that conversation. We're also going to make our picks as to how we think that series is going to play out, how many games it'll take, and who wins. We start, though, with those FanDuel odds. Guys, I know the Browns are coming off a 3-win season, and I know that there are teams that are much better than the Cleveland Browns, but I'm going to use your line that you told us in the break. Billy Beane in Moneyball, when he was talking about the gap between the Oakland A's and everybody else, said there are 29 teams, then there's a whole bunch of crap, and then there's us. FanDuel is basically saying that about the Cleveland Browns. Their odds of winning the Super Bowl are 280 to 1. The next two low-odd teams in the AFC are the Titans and the Jets, and they're at 200 and 160 to 1.
That's unbelievable.
There is a massive gap, according to FanDuel, from the Browns and everybody else. Is that right? Did they get this even close to right?
We talked about this during the YouTube show. Who has a worse quarterback room right now than the Browns? Maybe the Jets, maybe? Who would you? What other team would you trade their quarterback room? What other team has a worse quarterback room than the Browns?
Yeah, I don't. That's a good question. But the Jets might be. They're at least in the conversation.
And beyond that, I mean, the Titans just got Cam Ward, the only quarterback that anyone seemed to have any sort of thought of on this draft.
So are these? Then you're okay.
I think that's probably about accurate.
Wow.
I wouldn't. Here's a reason why I wouldn't have them rated as the worst team, but it's close. They're in the bottom 5. I look at it like this. This may be a year, if Kevin Stefanski wins 7 games, that might put him up for Coach of the Year again. That might be 3.
He more than doubled his win total.
Think about it. Look at the quarterback room. I will say that Joe Flacco has a little bit of special itness where it's like, all right, Joe Flacco could come out of retirement or whatever he was at on his couch and put up some big games. But he's here for the first time for the whole offseason. He was talking to Adam Bull. He said, listen, it's great to be around the guys full offseason. I think they got more juice in the backfield. They got 4 or 5 guys that I think are going to start day one. I thought the defense got better. You got Mason Graham. You got Myles Garrett to come back. I think they could be a little better than what they are on paper. They're still going to be one of the bottom teams, but I think they can sneak and win a few games that they probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I want to just punch myself right now in the stomach, and here's why. I know what I'm about to say is not based in common sense, reality, or logic.
Oh, boy. Here comes Browns fandom.
Get ready.
What do you got?
See, that's the part of me, Jay, that I can't repress.
It is.
I have so little common sense that the fan in me always rises up. It's like an internal, you know how you got the good angel and the bad angel on the shoulders? And so the good angel is common sense. And here's what he's saying. Oh, pump the brakes, cowboy. This is a 3-win team that will likely have 4 rookies starting next year. And then I got the bad guy over here saying, come on, Jay. Joe Flacco won 4 of 5 off the couch.
Right.
Now he's going to have a year in this system. And then I got this guy saying, well, we don't even know he's going to make the final roster. And then I got this guy saying, Come on, you got to be kidding me. He was 4-1 with a team. It took a team to a playoff. So that's the battle that I fight. I will say it right now on May the 2nd. Write this down, clip this. There is no chance we are talking, the over-under win total is 4.5.
Oh, yeah, they'll get that.
There is no chance the Browns only win 4 games next year.
Clip that and save
Clip it and save it.
I agree. I totally
Now,
agree.
I'm not going to go so far
No
as to sit here.
chance?
No chance.
Oh, there is absolutely a chance.
We've seen
That's
Miles.
what this guy's saying.
Right.
Jay, last year you had them winning 9 and they won 3.
You don't have to shrink me much, but shrink me just a little bit more, and I will
Now,
sit on that
but
shoulder.
isn't fandom bravado? Like, isn't that what it's... Who stands up and says, we're going to win 3 games next year?
I actually think the quarterback room is better this year than it was last year.
I have no doubt it's better this year. First of all, we've got more guys
There's
in there.
more guys to pick.
And Deshaun Watson isn't part of it.
I'm on the shoulder that says Joe Flacco's not on this team.
Actually, you know what? Here's my good angel and bad angel. Jason is my good angel. G is my bad angel. G's over there going, hey, we could have 5,000 passing yards.
Listen, and don't forget, you might have your franchise quarterback.
So
Just
I just look. Are they going to win the Super Bowl? Are they going to sniff it? Absolutely not. Are they going to be the worst team in the NFL next year, as FanDuel is telling us? No. May 2nd, clip it. Book it.
Okay.
We're bringing that back at the end of December.
Okay.
Yep. I like it. You see how
You know what my good
creeping.
angel just said? I'm leaving you, dog.
We're creeping along.
I'm leaving this town.
Oh, my
All right,
goodness.
let's talk Nick Chubb. Holy cow. Roll the video if we can, Steve. This is not from 3 years ago. This is not from 2 years ago. This is from this week. Nick Chubb, the workout warrior.
Man.
Now, we had Ross Tucker,
That's
former
no-
NFL player and current NFL
That's no straps.
analyst.
No straps.
None, guys.
straps.
And he's throwing plates around like they're dish plates.
He's not hanging. He's power cleaning from the floor.
And they're legit, too. Like,
Yeah.
those are full legit. And look at this.
No belt.
What
no
has he got?
weight, no
6
belt.
plates on each side?
Below parallel. Get
It's
down
not
there.
quite tail the grass,
yeah,
but it's past parallel. You're right. It passes the test. Now, we had Ross Tucker on, and he goes, Jay, you know this as well as anybody, and I do. Lifting weights is one thing. Wait, I wanted to get to that part because that was the part.
That's the explosion.
That is the part that I want, and I didn't want to get into it with Russ because he played in the NFL and he's way smarter than I am. He said a lot of guys are strong. A lot of guys can lift weights. The most impressive thing to me about that clip, and I know Steve's queuing it up and we're going to take it in a second. The most impressive thing to me about that clip was the explosiveness. Look at this bounding drill. Oh, we got it at the very end of it. Damn it.
We're going to have to go through the whole thing
Okay, let's
again.
just watch him lift weights and be Hercules, and we'll get back to that bounding drill. Guys, and you know this because you've had ACLs.
Yep.
So I think myself, having 3 ACLs, I eventually got back to my max bench, not that matters, deadlift, and squats. That was the part of my game that never returned.
That explosion.
That explosion is beyond impressive. And I'm not saying he's going to be an all-pro running back, but is there a world, guys, where the Browns, who took 2 running backs, bring Nick Chubb back for next season?
Listen, look, if it was me, if you asked me who do you want, Jerome Ford or Nick Chubb, I'm taking Nick Chubb. I think the explosiveness is going to be back. I think we overcompensated and we oversold that he was going to come back year 1 and be Nick Chubb. I don't agree with that. I think Nick Chubb, when you have ACLs, it takes time to get the explosiveness back, the lateral quickness and different things like that. Not to mention, I think a lot of it had to do with the Browns fired their offensive line coach. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
They got him up out of here. I don't know what scheme.
Last game wasn't even over.
They was like, get up out of here. You got to go. That's how bad he
in
was.
the third quarter.
Like,
You got to go.
Get this man back. Get back into running the football. 2 tight ends. They drafted a tight end. I'm telling you right now, Nick Chubb is going to be closer than the old Nick Chubb than we remember. Bring this man back. He's hungry. Listen, you can use him on short yardage. I know. Listen, no one else has picked him up, but I'm going to tell you what. He's the guy that I would bring back, and I think you could use him in some sort of role and lean on the run, Jason.
Jay?
I'd love to see him back. I don't know where. I don't know how he fits. They just took 2 running backs in the draft.
Yep.
What does that tell you? Just pay attention to the board and watch what they're doing. They can try and sign them. They can say they're trying to sign them. When you take 2 rookies, had they taken 1, yeah, okay, there's room. When you take 2 rookies, I just don't know how he fits. I'd love to see it. It'd be a great story. It'd be great for him to return. Also, if you're him, why would you want to come back to this? When you see, if you have an opportunity for more carries and more usage elsewhere, he also sees that they just took two rookies.
He said he wants to play his whole career here. That'd be one.
They all say that.
I know they do.
Also
he wants to
play
too.
I think the most important word in that sentence is play.
Yeah, right.
He wants to play.
You're not going to keep him if he's not going to play.
And the carries just aren't there right now.
So this is a perfect example of good angel and bad angel. I understand the logic of this decision. The logic of this decision is it's his second major knee reconstruction.
Yeah.
He's getting to the age where running backs hit their expiration date. Mm-hmm. We saw what he was last year. Those are all the good angel points. Then I've got this guy. You know what this guy is saying? Let him go. Let him sign in Chicago. Let him sign in Pittsburgh and go for $1,200. Let him beat you once or twice in the head-to-heads. That's the worst-case scenario. Then there's a scenario in the middle. He signs with someone. 6 games in, he's released. Clearly not the same guy. So there's the two opposite ends of that spectrum. Then there's a third option. And you know what I think the third option is? And I think Nick Chubb, if any player in Browns history deserves this opportunity, it's Nick Chubb. You've earned the right to get a chance here. You have said you want to make it work here. We want you to make it work here. We're going to sign you on an incredibly incentive-laden deal. That's all he's going to get anywhere. Mm-hmm. He's going to get minimum for his years. And then you give him escalators in the contract. Start 12 games, you get X. Go for $1,200, you get X. Make the Pro Bowl, score this many touchdowns, X, X, X. Give him the opportunity that I think he has deserved. If it doesn't work out, you'll likely know by the time you have to get your roster cut down. Mm-hmm. Why? Because this year we're playing guys in the preseason.
Yep.
We're playing guys in the preseason. If the Browns have learned nothing else over the last couple of years, I think one of the things they have to take is, we got to see our guys more in the preseason.
Yeah.
We can't come rolling out and have it be a pop quiz on week 1. And with the quarterbacks you have, it almost demands that you start these guys. So give them 15 carries in each preseason game. And you'll know by that.
Two problems. One, if you give him an incentive-based contract, he's not going to have the opportunities to reach those incentives because you're playing the two rookies over top of him.
But what if he's Nick Chubb of old? These guys aren't beating out Nick Chubb of old.
This is a season of transition, and you've got to get these guys ready. You have to know what you have in Quinshon.
So the gentleman's punt continues even at running back. No, I know. Listen,
here's what I would
smart
say.
angel.
Here's what I would say. If you got a team that Kevin Stefanski wants to go back and get back to running the football. When they were good, they had Chubb, Hunt, and Dearness Johnson. They ran all three of those guys. Hunt spent some time on the injury list. Chubb spent some time on there. If you got him and you want to run the football, you're going to need multiple running backs.
Right, yeah.
He's going to get some carries in there.
I want to make this point, too, about the knee injury. You know this. I've learned this the hard way. Not all knee injuries are created equal. Mm-hmm. Here's what I mean by that. Had he torn his on a foot plant cut, that's one thing. Every player on the planet would have had their knee blow up if they took the hit that Nick took.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eliminate the possibility of future injury. That'd be crazy. Mm-hmm. But it's not like his knee gave out due to stress.
Right.
His knee gave out because he had a dump truck hit it.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, I just want to see this guy get another chance in Cleveland because I cannot stand the thought of him going somewhere else and resurrecting his career. All of the teams that gave up on running backs last year, watch those guys go to other teams and take them to the playoffs. Saquon Barkley. Yes.
Derrick Henry.
You've got to be careful with that. And the former Bengals guy.
Mm-hmm. Mixon.
Exactly. We're taking a break. When we come back, how will the Cavs second round series finish up and who wins it? It's our second round playoff predictions when the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show comes right back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Coming off the most lopsided series in the history of the NBA playoffs, which goes much more than 75 years. The Cleveland Cavaliers won on average by 30-plus points in their 4 wins over Miami. How does the second round series with the Pacers play out? Who wins? How many games? Who's the X factor? Jay, go.
I have Cavs in 5 in this one. I actually thought the Heat series would be much closer than what it turned out being. The Cavs are now playing like they were when they were on those long winning streaks during the regular season. They went through the lull in March, and I said at the time, when we get to April, no one's going to care about how they played in mid to late March. And sure enough, is anyone talking about how they were struggling to make threes? No, nobody cares. They have returned back to that team. They are incredibly difficult to guard. For an X factor, I've been riding Evan Mobley all year. I'm going to stay with Evan Mobley. And just his defensive presence, the way that he has evolved offensively, he gives them another level to all of this. How he plays, how the Pacers sort of attack him on the defensive side, trying to get him out of the lane. Teams have done it all year. You want to attack the Cavs when they're on defense, get Evan Mobley out of the lane. I'll be curious to see how the Pacers try to do that. Indiana is much better than what Miami is, but I still don't see the Cavs losing more than one game in the series.
They might get a game. I got to give them a little respect because they are, they did get a win in their first round matchup. We talked to the Pacers play-by-play guy, and he talked about some of the things they were able to do with Giannis Antetokounmpo because they were able to kind of, just concentrate on one guy. But he pointed out the fact that the Cavs got so many guys. They got, potentially 4 All-Stars. You got guys like Sam Merrill. You got guys like Ty Jerome coming off the bench. Hunter, he got off during that series against the Heat. For me, I think what's most impressive is the way that they've ratcheted up the defensive intensity. When the Heat were swinging the basketball, they were making the rotations. They were in guys' face. They had shot hands go up. And the guy that I think is, and I've been critical of him at some points during the season, is Max Strus, but I think he's been playing great these playoffs. He's been hitting the open jumper. He's been, playing solid defense, moving his feet. And I think that, when the Cavs are the most dangerous when they're moving around and playing solid defense and making sure guys are running off the three-point line. You put that with the offense, Jay, they're a tough team to beat.
Yeah, they're a very tough team to beat. I don't know why I want to say 6, but
it's not, Indiana's good.
Yeah,
good.
I think, and this is probably because I think the mistake a lot of fans are going to make is say, oh, we're rolling, and this is a very good Pacers team. They are pesky. They're going to make Cavs fans angry. They're going to get under Cavs players' skin. They know how to do that. And remember, this is the same team that last year had to go into Madison Square Garden and win a Game 7.
Yeah.
When you put that down on paper, I mean, not that the Knicks are this incredible historical, but that's Madison Square Garden that we're talking about. And that place was juiced for Game 7. And they went in there and they won the game to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm going to stick with 6. As for my key player, it's that guy right there. I think that I know you can win a series like the Miami series where he's not the best player. He hasn't been playing, I don't think, at his level. At some point, you're going to need him to be your superstar. He's going to have to be the guy carrying the banner, the guy leading the parade. And this series might be it. So I think Donovan Mitchell, and I know it seems like a cop-out because he is their best player, but I thought about Evan Mobley for a second because we keep saying for this team to win a championship, Evan Mobley's going to have to emerge as the best player on the team. He's slowly doing that, by the way. But I just think Darius has got to have a great series.
If we're being totally honest, the X factor, the real answer is Darius Garland coming off this toe injury.
Well, will he play?
And how it's a pain tolerance thing. Can he play? Will he be effective? Truly, that's the X factor.
Yeah.
Provided that the toe's okay and he can play in the series, then I would go with Evan Mobley. But right now, the fact that he missed the last 2 games, he's had this time off, it's impossible to say how productive he's going to be until we see it.
Kenny did say he was moving well yesterday.
Yeah, well,
shooting the ball fine. But it's different.
Big difference between moving in practice and game
shooting.
1 of his conference semifinals.
Absolutely. And the toe, as you guys know, that anything on the foot in the sport of basketball.
Everything.
Is there any world where the Cavs look good 2 games in, they're up 2-0, they go back to Indianapolis, where they say, you know what, we're going to let Darius sit?
Yeah, could be.
Right.
It may be something they have to maintenance all the way through.
Right.
We're taking our second break. When we come back, do the Guardians have anyone on their roster other than Manzo and Hosey who can hit 20 home runs? We'll answer that when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I'm going to show you a very lonely place right now. There she sits. Cleveland's Progressive Field. It's actually, even though they've been home for 7 games, it was kind of lonely over the last week, too, because Crowds weren't great. Now, the weather has been
Weather
awful.
was awful.
Yeah.
But I suspect after this homestand, you're going to start to see your typical early summer crowds at Progressive. But for now, they're heading to Toronto, and they're on a 3-game weekend set there to start this road trip. Guys, we talked in the YouTube show earlier today about the lack of punch in this lineup and how there are holes everywhere, not just at the end of it. I think there's a hole in the 2 slot right now, and there's really the lineup gets really weak really fast. Santana hasn't been the guy we thought he would be. Nolan Jones has been not good. Is there anybody on this roster other than Hosey and Manzo capable of hitting 20 home runs?
It sounds crazy, but
you're going to take my answer. Go ahead. You can have it.
I mean, he's hit 2 in the last 7. There you go. Bo Naylor. There you go. Listen.
Oh,
wow,
that
okay,
was
that's
not
a
my
surprise
answer.
to me.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Because I have somebody that can do it, but it wasn't Bo Naylor.
I mean, how many does he have right now? 4? So he only
Well,
has.
if you hit 4 a month, you're going to get 20.
Yeah.
So
And that's where he is, because
there
we're
he
at
is.
31 games.
Yeah.
So if you do that over the course of the season, you'll get to 20 home runs.
There it is.
And that, to me, would be a huge surprise.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if you get that guy to 20, I'm going to let you answer next because I have a feeling that you and I are going to have the same guy. But
Well, I might pick Gabby Arias under other circumstances, but Tyvus has made a bet on
Right.
him getting to 17, and there's not much of a gap between. And I can't stand Tyvus winning another bet.
yeah, so you're going to say no.
So I'm going to say Stephen Kwan.
That's my guy, too.
Because he was almost there last year.
Yep.
Had he not had the hamstring injury, he probably would have got there. And when you look at him, there's nothing to him. He's sort of the Jose. Where's this power coming from? He's just a little guy. Most guys like that can't generate that type of power. He's made it a big part, going back to last year, he's made it a big part of his game, trying to increase driving the ball more and not just being a slap hitter. I think Kwan's on the verge of a monster season. He's off to a great start. If he had more help around him, his numbers would look even better. RBIs, there's nobody on base when he's
the 4 home run, 11 RBI, that is an indictment on the bottom 3 of our lineup.
Yeah, and we talked about it last year. Most of his RBIs last year came off of his home runs.
They did.
But he can't control that. All he can do is get good barrels, put the bat on the ball. And I think there's an excellent chance Stephen Kwan gets to 20 home runs.
I agree. He's my guy. I'm going to make a statement. I want to see what your thoughts are. I think Stephen Kwan has quietly become the most underrated player in baseball.
I agree.
This guy, what doesn't he do?
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to say he's a power hitter. He's not, but he's pacing to hit 20 home runs. And I think he'll get to 20 if he stays healthy. He is a legitimate 300 hitter. I think that's who he is. He's found his level. He's a 300 or 290, 310, right in that range.
Yeah.
He is a Gold Glove defender, and he runs well. This guy, and here's my fear, we're going to lose him, and somebody's going to give him a big offer, and if he gets to 20 home runs, he's now moving into another stratosphere of contract, future contract.
Hurts. That hurts.
And that will take him completely out of the running for the Guardians, unless, I'm holding out hope, by the time he's up, he has 2 more years, right?
Yeah, this is his first year of arbitration.
Right. I think by the time he's up, the Blitzer Group should be the owners of the Cleveland Guardians. It might time out perfectly because they get more and more stake of the team each year to the point where they become the majority owners, and then the Dolans probably bow out. What better way for the Blitzer Group to make a splash as the new primary owners than to do something that this team has never done, and that's to go out and sign a long-term player. And I shouldn't say never. They did it with Hosey. But at a huge team discount that I don't think they'll get from Stephen Kwan.
They're not getting it from him. They've
get
tried
it from,
for years. He won't sign it.
They're not going to give it for... But the Blitzer Group can make a huge splash in this city and win over the fan base by saying, you're a perennial all-star. You're a perennial Gold Glove guy. We're going to break the bank and give you the bag to keep you here. Fingers crossed. But that would be a nice way for them to introduce themselves to the Cleveland market as the primary owners.
I agree.
The clock's ticking on that because typically they trade a guy, they try and trade him with 2 years of control, which would be next year.
But the Blitzer Group
if you hold out,
they could put a worm in their ear and say, hold on to this guy.
Yeah.
We're not giving up. We're going to make a run. It'd be nice to see. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it'd be nice to see. So yeah, the over/under on guys with 20 home runs or more for the Guardians, I think, is 2.5.
I think Arias is the everyday shortstop by July, if not sooner.
If he is, then I think
he could get to 20 as
and
well.
Tyvus wins another bet, and we got to keep you away from tall buildings and sharp objects.
I can't handle that.
All right, very good. That's it for another Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on WKYC. We're out of time. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it. We'll see you Monday.
Peace.